Kings and queens, your majesties, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for always returning. Trust you and yourself well and you love yourself. And just like always, many thanks to all of you for the support you give to the channel. Thank you so much to our channel members, to our anonymous supporters, to all of you my esteemed subscribers. You loved, celebrated, and of course appreciated. We are the real savages, not black people. These are not my words, okay? These are not my words. These are the words of those who have told you all this while that for you to be African, for you to be a melanated man or woman, is for you to be barbaric, is for you to be out of touch with divine, is for you to be something that look like the devil, because I keep telling you, and it's still in the minds of many average African that the devil is still black. Now, they have groomed people who look like me and you, and these people who look like me and you are now the custodian of these ideas, and they are the ones that now groom others and inculcate these ideas to other people, that the devil look like me and you. Africans are the only group of people that evil can emanate from, because we look like the devil, because we are black. A lot of people do not understand it as you understand it, and a lot are still under the spell casted, your majesties. And this is just to clarify some things, right? When we sit here and try to bring out informations like this for you, it's not because we hate other people. It's not because we hate other races. No. Everybody is doing everything for the survival of their race and for the liberation of their race from whatever it is they feel that their race is under. That is why we are all doing what we are doing. And it's for educational purposes, just to give you some insight into some of the things. Remember, a lot of evil have been done to the melanated people around the world. And still, the audacity of these people to still make you feel like you are the bad ones. When you have the conscience, you are with the soul. You are the nine ether being, your majesty. The being with the soul, the being with the conscience. It is when you have a soul, you have conscience. You empathize with people. But that part of you have been taken advantage of for a long time. And it is time for us to wake up. But before then, I want us to listen to these discussions, and then we take it up from there.
They attack black people after they've been murdered when they did absolutely nothing wrong. You're pushing us to the limit. And what do I mean by that? You're asking us to talk about history, the history of the South. This is in Georgia. What happened in Georgia? There were savages in Georgia. It was the ancestors of the white right-wingers. They were absolute savages. They murdered people. They lynched people. They raped people. They enslaved people. They took babies from their mothers and sold them as property. You want to talk about savages? Your ancestors were the biggest savages the world has ever seen. And so don't you dare call a black man a savage after you murdered him. Don't you dare do that. I'm so sick of African Americans being called violent when the world's worst violence was done to them, not by them, to them, not by them. For God's sake, you want to do racist stereotypes? If it fit anywhere, and it doesn't, but if it fit anywhere, it would certainly fit white right-wingers in the South, who has hundreds of years of history of being savages. Savages. They snatched babies, and they sold them as property, and they raped their mothers. Savages. That's what they were. You want to talk about stereotypes? Screw all of you who still defend that Confederacy. That monstrosity. Anyone who defends that is a barbaric savage.
Accurate history is teaching white Americans how white slave owners raped, beat, humiliated, mutilated, murdered, and cannibalized their slaves. Accurate history is teaching that George Washington's false teeth were made out of his slaves' teeth. Accurate history is teaching that Abraham Lincoln may have said some words and signed some shit, but he did not physically do anything to free the slaves. The white abolitionists also often get almost total credit for freeing the slaves. I bet you've never even asked yourself what the slaves were doing to free themselves, and the answer to that is most of the fucking work, including giving the ultimatum of war. But then we get a bunch of white people mad that their kids might feel guilty if we teach real history. It's not about your white child's feelings. Teaching accurate history isn't about white people's feelings. But that does sound like something that someone who's only ever been taught a white glorifying version of history would counter with. Ask why we ever felt like we needed to curate a false version of what white people did and did not do to black people to begin with. And then ask yourself why white-ass politicians are verbally attacking real history by calling it slurs, which is, by default, also the act of calling black people slurs.
I'm so happy that this is not coming from a group of melanated people or a group of black people. This is coming from white people, and maybe a lot of us melanated people will understand it better because it's not coming from a black person. I'm saying this because up until this time, there are Africans who still do not believe the true history when you begin to say it, because it is coming from you and not from a white man. They only believe whatever it is that comes from the lips of a white man. And that is why the havoc done to our brains is such that it's like a cancer. And it's no healing. Because by day, instead of us feeding it or, taking things, listening to things that will heal this wound, we are listening to things that that will trigger, will enlarge these wounds that is already in our brains. Your Majesties. So we are not helping ourselves at all. We are not helping ourselves at all. This is a situation that we find ourselves as Africans living in Africa. It's a situation, the reality before our faces in the world today. That the true history of man is denied man. Because there is an intention, there is an agenda behind pushing a particular narrative to the world. How do you control the world if you do not control the narrative? So when the narrative was controlled, we became zombies. Wherever they push us to, we move there because we don't even know what the truth is. And this is the age of knowing. Everything is coming to light. People are now bold to come out and say, okay, this was wrong all the while. It is good we tell the truth as it is. That black people are not what we were told they are. Your Majesties, growing up, when you watch movies, especially when you watch movies about black neighborhood, immediately it's about black neighborhood. What comes to your subconscious is a broken home. What comes to your subconscious is either a broken home, a frustrated husband or a wife or children, a chaotic family, a family that there is no peace in it. There is a word I'm looking for it is just escaping my brain. What comes to mind immediately, Your Majesties, is this ghetto-ish life. A life or neighborhood where people are just, going out drinking, terrorizing themselves, all this. That is what comes to your mind. Nothing good comes to your mind. I'm telling you this as African. The moment it becomes a black community, you don't feel something good anymore. Because what they're going to show you, what you're going to see, will not even be something that will elevate the image of a black people. It will not be. That is the control of narrative. They've controlled the narrative already. They've tried their best to push out these ideas in your head that when it is black people, it is fight. It is, you know, ghetto life. It is broken home. You see, that is what it is. It is crime. When it is a black people, it is crime. It's ungodly. It is unholy. But the moment it's about a white community, you feel like, oh, it's about God, it's about the angels, it's about the saints, oh, it's about holy living, a happy family, you know, a lovely neighborhood. This is the truth. This is a fact. This is what most of us grew up with. Not until we began to decolonize, when we have reached the age of maturity and began to understand how the world operates, that we began to see clearly what is truly behind whatever it is that happened. And this is the fact we are faced with by day. That the black image have been tainted for a long time. And it is enough. Enough is enough. Black people are not savages. Black people are not barbaric. Black people are not satanic. The melanated people are the image of the divine. So you can't come out and tell me that, oh, you are this, you are that, and you want to rub me with all the negativity. I refuse that. I don't know for you watching at this point, but for me, I refuse that. I showed you some information here, and I still get some black people, some black uninformed people. I'm sorry I'm using that word, uninformed, because I don't know, but they were like, God love all of us the same. God can be with us the same. God can kiniko the same. Yes, of course, there's no doubt about that. But I'm talking about my race. And it was still a white man who came to tell you, right, that the gods are attracted to black people. Divinity are attracted to black people. Why? Because there is something in the melanated that is of divine that attracts them. Your Majesties, you are the 9 ether being. 9 ether. You are not 6 ether, you are not 3 ether, you are 9 ether melanated. Where the divine is present, you trigger it, you increase the presence of the Creator. And it is unto you that it is said that where 2 or 3 are gathered, the divine is present. So do not look down on yourself to the point where you feel that there is nothing good that can come out of you. That is a lie. And that has been proven to be a lie today. At this age of knowing that it is a pure lie. And I'm happy, like I said before, that it is white people that are now coming out to tell you black people who are in the denial, that don't even believe in yourself, that anything good can come out of you. You know, sometimes the way they projected this whole thing, you might even feel like, okay, since they said I'm barbaric, since they said I'm a savage, I should act as they have predicted. And so people, you begin to act like a savage, you begin to act like a demonic person, because already the word have told you, you can only be demonic, you can only be barbaric, you can only be satanic. Why should you project that kind of a thing to a race of people? And then you don't want me to talk. You don't want, it was okay when the world projected this towards this race of people, melanated people, that they are bad. You felt it was okay. And at this point where I'm saying no, I refuse that, you want to come and flag me that I am going against principles. You want to come and flag me that, what have you, kiniko? That is not going to happen. No matter what they do, they will never be able to shut us up of the truth that we need to profess, of the truth that we need to pass out to each other. Leave your thoughts and opinion there at the section, Your Majesties. I'm going to see you in my next one. Until then, love yourself, love others, stay safe, stay positive. Your Majesties, you are good because goodness resides in you. Your Majesties, it's not just evil that resides in you. Goodness resides in you. so you can be good. You have the power to be good. You have the power to be evil. So it's not in our DNA to just be evil people. That is what you should know. So that good thing you have in your heart to do it because you can be good. You can be good. You are goodness. Bye for now.